doing very well. So we will start with the basic introduction. Okay. So guys, just raise the hand. How many of you are currently in college, like final year or pre-final year? Okay, so we have around 12 to 15 students who are in college. And what about other? Are you a working professional or doing something else?
Sir, I'm a working professional.
Okay. So you're working in cybersecurity sector only or any other sector?
Sir, I'm an assistant professor and I'm working in the same sector for computer science, but I take majorly subjects of cybersecurity
Okay, great. In which institute?
in Nirma University, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so we have a teacher here in this call also. So that's a very good thing. Okay. So, okay, we have a mixed batch where we have the professors, the student, the working professional, everyone. Okay, so we'll try to go for like from basic to advanced. Okay, so I hope that all of you have a clear idea about the basics of cyber security. Although I will try to cover that as well as we will go for some advanced topic also. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I hope that all of you can see the screen. Okay, good. So we will start with the introduction to cybersecurity. Okay. Now, can like what you guys think about cybersecurity according to your current knowledge? What is cybersecurity? Anyone can unmute and speak. No issue. Yeah, guys, please respond. Yeah, so self is saying protecting assets. Yeah, good answer. Any other ones to try? Okay, so we got the answer. Cybersecurity is CIA, protecting system when connected in internet, office securing, simulate cyber attack and cyber threats. Okay, protecting information. Okay. So, okay, we are getting a good answer. So, according to the answer, I can conclude that cybersecurity is nothing but a process of protecting the assets and implementing the CIA right. Okay. So, let's understand the terminology. So, basically, we have cybersecurity. It is nothing but a process. Yeah. So, it is a process of very correct. Rishikesh. Okay. It is a process of, or you can say that a practice of protecting system, network, and program from digital attack. Because someone given the answer that it is a process of protecting data, digital as well as physical. So that is not exactly cybersecurity. That is something we have information security. Okay. So here we usually we have we have like a confusion that whenever we are talking about the data only. then it is something related to information security. Okay. Then we are going in that context that the data may be in physical format or maybe in digital format. It's our responsibility to protect that data. But when it comes to cyber security, so we have multiple kind of assets. Okay, not only the data. Now, when we are saying about system, network, and program, so system simply means the end devices, the servers, okay, the databases, whatever we have, okay, the computation unit. That is our system. To protect that, then the network. So the connectivity channels. So we need to protect and program. So programs are nothing but your code. Okay. For example, there may be any kind of web application, mobile application, okay, or whether it is a IoT kind of application, so that program. So we need to protect these from digital attack. Okay, and it encompasses various technologies, process, and practice designed to safeguard sensitive information. Now, when we have this much responsibility, like we need to protect our system, network, and programs. So how we are going to do that? So we are taking help of different kind of technologies and processes and practice, which are designed to safeguard our system. Now, let's start from practice. So practice is something like you cannot implement cybersecurity and rely on that. It's an ongoing process, right? On daily basis, you need to go for the research, go for the implementation. You can keep a system secure today, but for keeping it secure tomorrow, you need to work tomorrow also. Okay. So that is a practice. And then the process. When it comes to the organization level, okay. So it is like we need to come up with a unified idea. Okay. So if we are not doing that, so what problem we are getting? Basically, we have multiple resource or multiple team who are working in cyber security. Everyone have their own practice, their own thought process. So what we are doing, we are defining a process. It means simply a, a sequence of steps to take. Okay, so that is our process. So we are creating a complete path for it. Then the technology. As we need to work on different levels. Sometimes it is divided into teams like red team, blue team. Okay. Sometimes it's divided according to the domain, the network security. Then we have cyber security. We have complete concept of SOC. Okay, security operations center. So we need to also rely on the technologies according to our working like domain where we are working. If we are working on a red team, for example, so we are going for scanning like tools which are nothing but technology. Okay, if we are in network security, so we are going for the firewalls. Okay, we are going for the IDS, IPS, and turning devices. So these technologies we need to adopt and configure each and everything at a single with a single approach, right? Then last point we have understanding cybersecurity is essential for individual and organization to mitigate the risks and protect asset. So nowadays, as we all are seeing, we are living in the digital era. Okay, and cybersecurity is nothing but the process of protecting the digital assets. So for an individual also, it is very important to understand the component or the core principle of cybersecurity to protect their self also. Okay. Now, in importance of cybersecurity, we have something known as CIA triad. Now, what is CIA triad? Basically, it stands for C for confidentiality, I for integrity, A for availability. Okay. So we need to understand. Yeah. Whenever we are working in an organization, we have lots of processes to follow. So There is a condition where we are confused also. Right. If we will remove the CIA from the cybersecurity, then we are into a condition where we don't know what to protect and how to protect. Okay. So I'm explaining this concept with an example. Suppose we have a server and we need to go for the server hardware. Now, if we will do the proper hardware, like we will disable all the ports, we'll disable the services. Okay, then there is a high chance that the confidentiality will be at high level, but the availability that will go in low level. Okay, uh, so basically, C stands for confidentiality. It means the data must be confidential. Okay, simply the whom the data is belongs, they only are accessible to access that data. They are allowed to access that data. So that concept is of confidentiality. Then we have integrity. Integrity simply says that data must be in as it is format. There is no any alteration in data. Okay, so that is integrity. Then we have availability. So it the availability state that the data should be available when we need. Okay. Okay. For example, if we will implement confidentiality, that means so suppose uh, I am a bank and I have and you have account in my bank. Okay. Now, whatever the information you are giving to me, like your contact detail, your address, okay, your your financial statement and all, so that must be accessible by you only and me. So it is a confidential. Just give me a second. Yeah, guys, sorry for inconvenience. Actually, I got a very important call, so that's why. Hello, I am audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, yeah. Very sorry for inconvenience. Okay. So where was I? That's yeah, it's right. Okay, so confidentiality, basically that the data must be served to the person who is authorized for that. Okay. Then we have integrity. There is no any alteration in the data. The data must be in as it is format. And availability simply means the data must be available when it's required. And why this is right? Because we are implementing these three at the same time. Okay. Now, suppose you are working in a web VAPT. Okay, basically web security, or you are in server security or anywhere. So this is a core principle or backbone. So anyhow, you need to keep this specific thread in your mind, whatever you are doing. That is a different thing. Okay. So cybersecurity is critical to maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. A single cyber attack can result in significant financial loss and damage to the organization reputation. Okay, guys. Here we have a key point that when a cyber attack is there, so it is not like that we are only losing our system or the money. It also the reputation of the organization and the trust of the users. We are losing these two also. Okay. However, in a data breach, we can observe that the data breach is something where someone is stealing our data, but at the same time we are also having the same data. So on a large, like on a mechanical scale, we don't have any loss exactly. But what the loss we have the reputation damage. Basically, we are losing the trust of our consumers. Now, due to that, we are facing some investor class. Okay, then the investor will take the money out. After that, the market fall down. So we have a chain of losses. Okay, it is not directly financial loss. It is a chain of losses. Then the increasing frequency and sophistication of cyber threats make robust security measures effective. Okay. Although nowadays we have different technologies in cyber security, basically used by the malicious actor. Okay. So they are always out of the box. They are always thinking out of the box and using multiple technologies. Okay. So that's why it is very important to be updated and to follow the roots of cybersecurity to be secure. Now we have some common type of threats. Okay, so in threats we have like malware. Malware is nothing but the malicious piece of code. It can include the virus, worms, okay, the ransomware, trojanware, okay. Then we have adware, spywares, rootkits. These are our malwares. We have logic bombs and all. Now, simply, if I need to explain malware in very simple word, it is the malicious piece of code with some malicious intention. Now, according to the working principle, we are deciding the category whether it is a virus, worm, ransomware, or anything. Okay, so and basically it's the major source of the malware transmission is drive-by download. Okay, then we have something known as phishing. Okay, so phishing attack these are individuals into revealing the sensitive information, often using fake email or a website. Okay, phishing. So with phishing, let's go for the superset. That is the social engineering. There is a what we say quote in cybersecurity that there is no security patch for stupidity, right? And where humans are there, so that's the social engineering is the biggest threat. Anyhow, social engineering is a art of human hacking where we are not directly involving in the system. Instead of that, we are hacking the humans by manipulating them, by manipulating the context of a specific scenario. Okay. Also, phishing, which is a part of the social engineering. Here, what we are doing, we are basically we are tricking users to reveal their sensitive information. We are using fake emails, fake website for this. Okay. Then we had the proper attack like DOS, DDoS. Okay. Then we have MITM, these kind of attack. So in malware, what we are doing, we are sending or we are deploying our payloads. Payload is nothing but your malware into the system. In phishing or social engineering, we are going with the tricks. Okay. But in a third type, which is the complete technical attack, the DOS, DDoS, or MITM, okay, or any kind of spoofing and anything, or any kind of poisoning attack. Here, what we are doing, we are directly altering the system or we are disturbing the system processes. Okay. So in this type, we are using different kind of tools and techniques, and we have different objective here. Basically, if I will divide this category into two wide areas, then we have something known as active attack, something known as passive attack. In active attack, basically, we are directly involving into the processes. Okay, it means suppose a simple client server communication is there. So what we will do, we will directly involve in that process and we will try to fulfill our objective. So that is an active attack. In passive attack, we are not directly involving. Instead of that, we are just listening. Okay, to getting some fruitful information. For example, you can go for the YSR scanning. Okay, or YSR kit is a tool used to capture the packet from a network. So here we are not disturbing any ongoing process. Instead of that, we are just listening. Before that, we have wiretapping. Okay, so that kind of attack this comes under the passive attack. After that, some key cybersecurity concept. So first thing we have authentication. Okay, authentication and authorization. Then we have encryption and then we have firewall. Let's understand these things. So as of now, we have understood the different types of attack and what is the core of the security. Then we have we have different types of attack which use different tools and different techniques. Okay, so for prevention also we need to go for different kind of techniques and tools. So first we have a process or a you can say that a technique known as authentication or authentication and authorization. So it will ensure that the user who are they claim to be okay, often through password or biometric or any authentication mechanism. Okay, so basically authentication and authorization is a process where the user is proving their self. Okay, so basically we have simple authentication where you use a single password. Then we have two-factor authentication. So the concept of two-factor authentication is pretty much simple. We need to go for two component. We are saying this 2FA, two component in which something you know, something you have. Okay. Now something you know, it means your password that you know. Something you have. Now you need to go for a security key. The key may be any specific devices, okay, or any specific unit. Anything it can be, but it must have a digital signature. Okay, so that is then we have multi-factor authentication. So here we are going for something you know, something you have, and something you are. Okay, what does it mean? The starting like something you know, something you have. That is similar as to two-factor authentication, but something you are. Now you need to go for some validation proof that is only with you. Okay, that is a part of your personality. For example, your biometric, like your fingerprints, your eye prints, these things. So this thing, something you are. In like this thing comes under something you are. So that is the concept of multi-factor authentication, or yeah, multi-factor authentication. Then we have the concept of encryption. Okay, so encryption is nothing but the process of converting simple text into the cipher text. Okay, so it protects the data by transforming it into a coded format, that is a cipher text that can only be read by authorized parties. Okay. So basically, in encryption, we have two concepts like symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. Okay, or we are saying that single key system and multi key system, the public key private key system. So this is the basic of encryption, where anyhow we are converting the format of the text. Okay, simply we are converting simple text into cipher text using multiple, we can say that, algorithm, multiple encryption algorithm. Then we have different kind of network security device, which include your firewalls, IDS, IPS, NITS. Okay, we have load balancers. Now here we have brief about firewall. A firewall acts as a barrier between the trusted internet network and untrusted external network, filtering traffic. Okay, so firewall is something like a security guard of your network in simple way. With uh, if you will take scenario of uh, like some old firewall, so that is a security guard without the brain. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are implementing the rule, and the firewall will follow that rule on. Nowadays, some of the firewall will work on the like context also, but although maximum firewall simply focus on the rule. The rule has some parameters, right? Like the IP address, the ports number, okay, then the protocols and the data which is carried by that specific traffic. According to this parameter only, we are going to implement the rule, and by that rule only, our network traffic will be filtered. Okay. Now, after that, we have some frameworks also in cybersecurity. So, frameworks provide a structured guidelines for managing and reducing cyber risk. Okay. So we have NIST cybersecurity framework. Okay. So this framework is widely used and consists of five core functions, that is your identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Now we have these frameworks basically. Not only NIST CSF, we have ISO 27001. Okay. Uh, so why these frameworks are important? So something we in cybersecurity we have something as GRC. Okay, where we have some policies. Okay, that we need to. It is like a license. Okay, from a very basic. So suppose we want to deal or process the users data. Okay, the users belong to the land of India. So the Indian government may enforce some of the policies to you. That policies are nothing but the regulatory policy or governance policy. Okay, so you need to prove yourself that you are able to deal with the data. So for that you need that certifications. And to achieve that certification, there are some benchmarks. So these framework will help you to achieve that benchmark basically. Also, we have something known as transporter data transmission. In that, basically, we need to take care that no matter where we are processing the data, but we need to follow the rule of that country, okay, from where the data belongs. Suppose your data belongs to the European Union country, So you need to follow the law of European Union. Okay. Yes. So basically here in this example we have NIST, in which we have basically five core functions. That first identify the possible threats, then protect the asset, detect the anomaly, respond on that, and go for a recover plan. We usually call it disaster management plan. Okay. And adopting a framework helps organization to implement best practice and improve their overall security posture. Now we have risk management in cybersecurity. Risk management is also ongoing process. Okay. Now we have risk is something that we can say that the potential threats. Okay. Anything that may okay that may cause damage to our organization. We simply say that okay, this is a risk for our organization. So the risk management involves the identifying, assessing, and prioritizing the risks to minimize the potential impact. As you can see that here we are using the minimize. Okay, we are not directly stopping. Here's the technicality behind this. Basically, when we have a risk, so we are assessing that risk and finding the area where the impact can be and the potential damage from the damage from that impact. Okay. Now, according to the damage or according to the potential harm, we are classifying that. Okay. So we are classifying on different scoring system, and with the help of that scoring system, we are deciding we are prioritizing that. Okay. So basically, here we have term of severity level. So according to the impact, or you can say that uh, the value of the damage, we are prioritizing, and according to the priority list only, we are giving the resource, giving the time, and fixing the issue. Also, sometimes we are ignoring also because in some cases we find that we have some risk and the mitigation cost is very high. Okay, and if the risk is expert, we don't have nothing to worry. Okay, there's somebody saying anything? Okay. Then organizations should conduct a regular risk assessment to understand the vulnerability and threats, and a well-defined risk management strategy enables proactive and response to emerging cybersecurity challenges. Okay. Then we have something known as cybersecurity policies and procedure. Okay. Now, establishing a clear cybersecurity policy is essential for guiding the employee behavior and response. Although employees are the first line of defense. Okay. What does it mean when I'm saying that they are the first line of defense? Okay. So whenever there's an organization, so that organization must be working in some other sector, and cybersecurity is important, but the internal part of the system. Now, as the overall infrastructure is accessible by each and every employee, so it is very usual that the attacker may take take a chance on an employee who don't have that much technical knowledge. Okay, so that will become a weak point of our environment. So that's why we are going for the cybersecurity policies and procedures. So although giving the complete cybersecurity knowledge to each and every, which is near to impossible. So we are creating policies that are imposed to everyone. Okay. Okay. So establishing clear cybersecurity policy, Then we have policies to address the data protection, acceptable use, incident response, and employee training. And regular reviewing and updating the policy helps ensure they remain effective against evolving threats. Okay. Although these are something like part where we are is reducing the attack surface simply. Then the role of employee training. Okay, employees are often first line of defense against cyber threats, making training crucial. Where regular training session can help staff recognize phishing attempts and other common attacks, and a culture of security awareness, vigilance, and responsibility among all employees. Okay. Basically, in employee training, what we are doing, we know that we cannot give complete cyber security to the employees, so we are making them aware about any kind of attacks. Okay, how the attacks is performed, what are the scenario when you need to protect yourself or you are in a situation, then what you will do. We are giving a simple idea. Now let's discuss some emerging trends in cyber security that is moving with the like the rise of remote work has increased the importance of security securing home network and personal devices. This is something really important as if some of you are having the like what you say that a local ISP who providing you the Wi-Fi service, there is a high chance that your router ID password is on by default. Okay. The first thing is when it is since only the personal users, then no issue. But when it comes to organization, people are going for the network using companies' resource from different locations. So that is very important that all the devices from where the person or the resource is connected, that must be securely configured. Although this is the small work and usually we have untrained people in that. Basically, they don't have that much knowledge of security. They are just uh, repeating the things in each and every point without understanding the technicality. So they are not able to go for a proper secure configuration of the devices. Okay. So that is one of the emerging trends. Then we have artificial intelligence and machine learning are being used to enhance the threat detection and response capabilities. So as we have chat GPT, something we also know about the hack GPT. Okay. So basically what people are doing with any kind of LLM, large language model, what I feel that the analytics part is very much easy. Okay. That can process the data simply. So if you have a effective machine to process the data, then easily we can extract some of the information from simply dumped data. Okay. And in third, we have growing IoT introduced. Okay. New vulnerability that repaired involves security solution. Now we have IoT devices from your wristwatch to the neckband. Okay, we have something known as concept of home automation. Everything is connected to the network. Now, whether that network is secure or secure, we don't have any idea. And we are sharing our information over the IoT devices also. That is also a big concern. In conclusion and the future action we have, cybersecurity is an ongoing process and that must adapt the new threats and technology advancement. We cannot implement cybersecurity and sleep. We need to work in cybersecurity continuously. And the second thing, we have collaboration among organization, government, and individual is essential based on the overall security. So three are the components. Basically, we can say that the organizational level where we are creating the policies, the government which are supporting the policy, and individuals. Okay, we are using the product. Everyone need to be aware about the cyber attacks. And the third thing is staying informed, or we are saying the continuous learning. Okay. Okay, so I hope that this piece, like this session on introduction to cybersecurity, you guys enjoyed this session. And definitely all these things are very basic, maximum of you know these things, but then also I hope that I have added a few more values or more giving you more insight on this topic. Okay. So any doubts, discussion, anything you guys want? Hello. Okay. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the session. Okay. So thank you guys for listening me. I'm binding up the session here. I'm just stopping the recording. Okay.